back with a new video. And if you guys do not know, I am on Tinder, and this video has been highly requested because I've had friends that have heard this story, and they're like, you really should do a video about it. You know, it's really something that a lot of people can relate to, so why not? Okay, this video basically is my first Tinder date and probably the worst so far. I've only had 4 Tinder dates in my whole, stint of being on Tinder, and I've been on Tinder for about 1.5 years. So it's been a year and a half, and I've only gone to 4 Tinder dates because, not that my standards are freaking high, it's just that I really like guys who are not into hookups, and I know Tinder is a hookup app. Guys go there to hook up with girls, or maybe, just have some discreet fun, but I'm not into that. I'm into like meeting new people, dating, possibly finding a new boyfriend, meeting the man of my dreams, but I'm pretty sure I won't be able to meet him on Tinder. But why not? It's the experience that counts. So I'm gonna tell you guys the story of my first Tinder date, which is possibly the worst. I feel that my camera is crooked. Let me double check. Yeah, it is. Wait. So while I'm telling you guys the story, I'm gonna be adjusting. Okay. Here we go. Much better. Okay. So I'm gonna do some precautionary stuff. Okay. So this date was about a couple of months ago, about 4 to 5 months ago. That was the first Tinder date I've had. And me and this guy physically was not like the guy of my dreams look like. He's not tall. He's not chinito. He is not, well, he's kind of light-skinned because, of course, I don't discriminate guys by their looks, but of course you would like someone that, looks pretty damn good. So this guy was kind of against the stereotype of guys that I would usually date, but what the hey, it's the fun of it. So me and him started chatting for about a month before we met up, and he's really good in conversation, but there was like a red flag in our conversation thread that I should have looked into and not say, oh, I want to meet up with you. I looked way past it because I was like, okay, he's kind of cool. He travels a lot. I like people who like to travel a lot. He is into, I think, export. I don't remember his name because I tend to forget people's name that I don't like. So this guy I've been chatting with for about a month on Tinder, just on Tinder. I haven't given him my Facebook, Instagram, whatever at that time. So it was just like me and him chatting on Tinder, and he is really taking interest in me. So I was like, okay, let's meet up. Then one weekend afternoon, we met up at Starbucks Araneta in Cubao, which I live nearby, and he lives nearby as well. So it's like our common ground. So we met up there. I actually was early, about 5 minutes early, and I messaged him on Tinder saying, hey, I'm already here. I'll just buy a drink and I'll wait for you outside since there's not a lot of chairs inside Starbucks. So I ordered my drink, I went outside and got a table. I sat there. About 15 to 20 minutes later, he comes back. Well, he messaged me while I was ordering saying, oh, I'm just in the area. That was the last message I got. So I waited for him. About 15 to 20 minutes later, he arrives, and the first thing he says was not sorry. He said, oh no, he did say I'm sorry, like, I'm sorry, I just parked my car. And then after saying sorry and saying his reason, he also said, I thought you said we're going to meet up at Starbucks Gateway, which is about which is near Starbucks Araneta, but Starbucks Gateway is inside a mall, while the Araneta one was outside. Okay, so there's actually like a miscommunication part between us, and I said no, I mentioned in our conversation it's Starbucks Araneta because it's much easier, it's more public. That's one of my things, is when I meet people for the first time, I would like to meet them in public, there's a lot of people, so just for precautionary. And he noticed after me saying that, oh, you already ordered, and I said, yeah, I did. I told you. And he was like, okay, I'll just order my drink. He goes order his drink. I'm just there. I didn't like what after we, initially had our first conversation in person. I put my phone in my bag because I don't want to be rude to anyone except when we're really, really close. You kind of know when you're really close to someone, you kind of fiddle with your phone while they're talking, and they would still know you're listening. Okay, you're not zoning out. So I put my phone away. I waited for him, and when he got back, he was like, okay, so what should we do today? And we did not have an itinerary for the date because I hate itineraries, okay? I hate making up a list of things to do on a date because if we don't do every single thing that's there, I am kind of a freak when it comes to that. So I was like, whatever, we can just like chat here and, eat somewhere or whatever, okay? So we first just like chatted, got to know each other again at Starbucks. We just started talking, and there was a red flag that I just like looked past. This is kind of my thing. Like, I kind of looked past the red flags that most of the time we were talking, he was the one talking. He did not ask me any, interesting questions. Like, the most he would say, oh, how are you today? What do you do? And he was not really interested in getting to know me, and he was just like, you know what, I just came back from Singapore. Singapore was really great. If you're gonna go to Singapore, make sure to check this, and he was just like talking and talking and talking, and I was like, okay, he's a good conversationalist, It's kind of like a first thing for me that the guy is the one talking more than me because I'm very talkative, so I'm like, that's fine, that's fine. After we finished our drinks at Starbucks, he mentioned, oh, let's go to another restaurant. Do you want to eat? Let's go to another restaurant. And we did. We chose a restaurant near Starbucks. So you can just guess from the restaurants near that place. And I was like, okay, sure, let's just grab a bite and just continue our conversation there. We went to this restaurant, which is kind of expensive. Talking about if we're talking about two people just eating. If we're talking about like a group setting, it's not cheap to eat there. So I'm not going to say which restaurant it was. So we went to this restaurant. It was kind of semi-fine dining. I'm going to say that. And truth be told, the money that I have in my bag is only $500 because we did not talk about going Dutch. So I'm giving you already like, the possible questions that you have in your head after I say this scenario. So we got to the restaurant, we sat down, the waiter gave us our menus, and once that I opened my menu and his menu, and he said, he opened his, and the waiter was in between us, okay? First thing that blurts out of his effing mouth was, you're going to pay for this meal, right? Oh my god. I still cannot erase that phrase from my head. And we did not talk about going Dutch. I'm kind of old school that the guy has to pay for the first date, whatnot. So my head was like, what? Are you kidding me right now? Are you freaking kidding me right now? And I was stunned. Like, I really looked shocked. Like, what? You were the one who suggested this restaurant. Why do I have to pay for it? But that was in my head. So I noticed the waiter also got shocked. And I was like, okay, can you just bring us some water and then we'll call you back when we're going to order? And he did. He went away, and I can see from his body language that he was like, oh my god, something's gonna go down. And something will go down. So once the waiter got out, went away, I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, I'm serious. You're paying for this, right? He repeated this part was like mind-blowing, and I was like, you know, this is our first date. I would really like it if you'll be the one to pay for it. And he was like, no, I don't want to offend you, you know, because he thought I'm a feminist. And I was like, no, it's okay. I'm, you know, kind of old school. I do like the guy to pay for the first date because that's, you know, chivalry, okay? Chivalry. So, okay, he was like, okay, you're going to pay for this. And he was like insisting on this part. So I was like, dude, I only have 500 bucks in my bag, and I really had a thought that you're going to pay for our meal here. And my voice kind of raised at that point that, you know, are you freaking kidding me? And I did say that phrase to him for about 3 minutes into our conversation. And he was like, yeah, I'm serious. You're going to pay for this, right? I'm asking you. I'm like, no. You know, you should be the one to pay for this meal. And my voice started to raise a little bit. I'm starting to get agitated. And if you guys do not know, even if I'm not agitated, my voice is kind of loud in public. So you guys will definitely notice me in public. So I was like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? And he got shocked and he said, can you lower your voice down? I will not lower my voice down. I told him that I will not lower my voice down because this is not good. The waiter comes back with 2 glasses of water and he asked us, are you guys ready to order? And I'm like, we'll just call you again. I, you know, told him to go away again. I don't want the waiter to eavesdrop, but I think everyone have heard our conversation at this point. So he was like, okay, let's just go to another restaurant where your budget can accommodate it. And this was the last straw. Okay? At this part, the waiter comes back because my voice is kind of louder than usual and is getting like angrier at the moment. And he was like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I do have to ask you. And then I cut the waiter. I cut his, you know, talking. I said, okay, we're not going to order. I closed my menu. And this date is over. I said, and this date is over. I stood up, got my glass of water, spilled it in the guy's face, and walked away. That was the worst date ever in my experience from Tinder. And I wouldn't have reacted that way if he didn't insist in me on paying, and he did insist that we move to another restaurant and I will still be paying for it. Okay, this is something that is a personal thing. If you're the one who suggested the restaurant, might as well shell out more money if we're gonna go Dutch, not ask for the girl to pay for your food. And to think that I'm a blogger, I don't own a lot, you know, I don't really own a lot, you know, I don't earn a lot of money from blogging. So that means my money is kind of limited. And he has a regular job. This is a regular job actually, but he has a regular income coming in. So he has more money than me. And he has a car. And I don't know if he does have a car. I don't really care. But it was just like, oh my god. And while walking, you know, to the terminal of a Jeep that I'm gonna ride to go to my house, I immediately whipped out my phone, went on Tinder, unmatched this guy because I don't want to hear his excuses. I have seen him on Tinder again because his, you know, area is near my area when I swipe. But I always swipe left. Like, I don't want to see him. I know his face, and if ever I see him in public again, I might punch him in the face because I'm not agitated. Because if you're gonna go on a first date with anyone, okay, if you're the guy, please be gentleman enough to be there on time, to pay for the meal for the girl, unless you have discussed going Dutch or paying, you know, paying equal, okay? But if you're just going to let the girl pay and it's your first date, it's kind of like a deal breaker for us girls. Well, for me, to be exact. And I'm not, you know, being picky with guys paying for my meals. the first date is enough, okay? On our second date, we can go Dutch. We can split the bill. I don't care, okay? I don't care. But on the first date, please be very, 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 very generous to pay for the meal or pay for the date, to be exact. And my cat is actually trying to play with my tripod right now. No, tulis. Oh my god, if this camera falls, you will also fall. Sorry. Okay. Moral of the story. Guys, please be chivalrous. Is that a word? Or, you know, chivalry is not dead in this age. Please, you know, do your best to be, you know, to be a gentleman to the girl. Be there on time. What else? You know, pay for the meal. If it's your first date, you can ask the girl if you can go Dutch prior to meeting up for the first date. Not when you're already in the date. Because sometimes there are girls that, you know, would be very shocked and be very offended because it's a first date, okay? But moral of the story, always have the red flags, you know, on like bright red in your face. Like, I've seen the red flags. Okay, so my camera died, unfortunately. But if you guys have any Tinder experiences such as mine, make sure to comment below on the comment section. Also, follow me on my social networking apps: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not on Snapchat yet. I have yet to discover that part. If you guys do have any questions, you know, about the date, about this story time, or about anything else, make sure to comment below. Like this video, share it to your friends that are on Tinder. They would possibly have gone through worse scenarios, so make sure to share this with them so they can share it to me and we can all have this really good conversation. Okay, I have to go now. Thank you so much for watching. I really like doing story time, but I'm kind of embarrassed because I'm like the most awkward yet most energetic person you'll meet, which is weird, but I'll try to do more of these. Expect more reviews by next week. So I hope you guys like this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Okay, bye.